Hi, Lyssa here. Today I want to talk about the benefits of finding your courage. It is a topic near and dear to my heart, mostly because first, there's so many benefits that you get as you engage that bravery or courage button inside of yourself. You have an opportunity for a much more authentic life, living in integrity and feeling happier about your life. Less second guessing of yourself, as well as more clarity around just decision making in general. So let's take a little bit of a dive into courage and what it even means. Courage is an interesting thing. I think if there are 7.5 billion people on the planet, and each of us probably has 100 different ways that we might show up courageously in our life, there's about 7.5 billion ways to a factor of 100 that we might be courageous. And it shows up in every single relationship that we have in our lives. It might show up in our relationships with our family, with our friends, with our coworkers, with our partners, our children, our parents, and ultimately also with ourselves. This ability to push through discomfort and even at times pain and emotional distress, to be able to sit with it, breathe into and through it, and allow yourself to face what is in the way of you being happier. And so this might show up, for instance, with somebody who's maybe deciding it's time to leave a job that I've done for a very long time because my passion is something completely different and will ask me to step outside of my comfort zone. Our comfort zone is so funny because we build it up over so many different years. Our biases, our beliefs, our values, all sorts of things get tied into our comfort zone. And the idea of leaving that comfort zone, stepping outside of it, can feel incredibly intimidating. It is hair-raising even at times. I know for myself, I closed down a business in New Mexico, moved up to the Pacific Northwest, and decided I was going to recreate my career in a completely different way. And there were all these things that I wasn't planning that I was going to need to do in order to start this business. It was a little of the field of dreams philosophy. If I build it, they will come. And yet it doesn't work like that. So it rarely in life are the things that are really important to you going to be things that are just super simple to do. They're going to require a type of courage or fortitude to push through them. And so that ability to calm ourselves, to notice when we're uncomfortable in a situation, and then to assess whether that is healthy fear that's normal and something to push through, or a fear that is trying to tell us something we need to be paying attention to. And only you are going to be able to determine that for yourself, but really getting in tune with yourself and standing up and recognizing sometimes we have reactive responses to things that cause us to feel uncomfortable, and those responses may not be the most useful. So giving yourself time before you respond in a situation that isn't life or death, slowing down that process may be the way that you show up courageously versus just automatically reacting to something that is going on. Another way is having a difficult conversation with someone you care about. I don't know about any of you, but my guess is there have been times in your life where what happens is you have a really delicate or important conversation that you need to have with, whether it's a friend or a parent or a partner or a child or a boss, where you're saying something that you don't want to have to say. Like there's a boundary that's maybe been crossed, or there's something that just hasn't set well, or they're bringing something to you of the same nature, and our defenses get triggered immediately. I'm going to be on the defense and I'm going to protect myself from whatever this is. I'm the victim here. And this shift from this idea of being a victim into being curious on your own behalf, of being able to be courageous enough in ego strength and internal integrity that I can hear things from somebody else and I don't necessarily assimilate them and go, oh, that's me. But on the other hand, I can hear those things and try and understand where the person is coming from. That kind of courage, that is epic courage in the face of having a conversation with somebody you care about, whether it is you care about them because you need them for your job, or you care about them because you want to have a long relationship with them. Either way, hearing things that people may not be happy about you is hard to do. And so bringing in that courage to be able to sit there and listen to something that maybe you don't want to hear, that's the kind of courage that also will see you through to happier relationships. Being courageous enough to share your truth with somebody, even when you think they're not going to like it. That's a kind of courage that we need in our culture. And it doesn't mean me just telling you my opinions about everything and saying I'm right, you're wrong, but it's that willingness to stand up and be curious with other people, to stand up and name things that we believe, but that we will be open to having a mindset that says, I may not be right about everything. Again, it takes that ego courage to be able to do that. And that kind of courage is the sort that will bring you to happier relationships, a happier life, a more full life, integrity in the decisions that you make, and ultimately less secrets and more transparency in ways that are really useful for how you move forward in the world. I hope today's been useful for you. Wish you a wonderful week, and cheers. Thank you for being with me today. Bye-bye.